Hi, welcome to BBC's regular season review. This is going to be extremely ham-fisted and all that nonsense because I'm trying to find time to fit a lot of stuff in. So you're going to try and get into this. All right. So we will cover the one non-Rocket League game. Hey, look at that. Dilly made it in by essentially default. Look at that. 13th. He gets to play Quantum League one more time. Next! Alright. So, cover the ones. Out. Thank God. Man, if I won that, I'd probably be playing more. Perhaps. Yeah, I think I'd be in at like the 16th seed or something like that. So, but whatever. I got to play all 6 games this time, and I went 1-5. This is all good. And then, let's go find Vicens. I wouldn't say necessarily a little bit of default here. Vicens solidly sitting at 4-2. So those are the game averages. It's pretty good. So Vicens doing all 3 circuits in Rocket League, 1s, 2s, and 3s. So good showing. Just a nice solid effort. Comes away with the 6th seed. I think we'll wait till everything comes out before we actually see, because none of this is correct. And then over out west. So I know this is definitely by default. But green did qualify first. So I think what happens in round 1, these 2 will play. And then for a spot in the semis, so like, yeah. So then the winner of this gets to play green in the semis. And then these 2 teams play. So yeah, like semis action already. But for green, again, good stats again. Yeah, nothing to really complain about. So in, trophy's a trophy, I guess. So in good position for that. Okay. So let's now get into the only 2's team we had. So Spree, assuming this is all correct, they finished as a 2 seed. Nice undefeated season. think they're going to lose based on goal differential. Team stats. This is like displaying, right? Yeah, it is. Okay. And then the splits. So now going into one game, I think Vicens was like kind of trailing in all the categories except saves. Kind of popped off there, but like Mystic is really good as well. So like this is a solid twos team, and Vicens, Vicens would take the lead in all the categories, but came through at the end. Again, he's going for the triple, in really good shape for it. So I'm excited to see how deep of a run they can make, because they're set up really well. We could possibly see 2 undefeated teams go for it in the finals here in this division. Don't know. You have to play your games. Can't take anything for granted. But again, I like what I've seen from them. They played really, really well. So, which way do we want to tackle this? I guess we'll work up the ladder. So we'll jump to the Scorpions. You're gonna see this record a lot. So yeah, they are in by all metrics: win percentage, goals for, goals against, goal differential. So they're the number 1 seed. Team stats, player stats. So they're well set up. Again, to make a deep run. Again, you always have to do it. But there's no reason why they shouldn't. You may comment on like generic stats here. I mean, his shooting percentage is still pretty good. But like, you could say all this is down, but like I know Vicens, Fox, and Ike are the starters. So like, these are fine serviceable numbers for generic as a sub. So yeah, but I mean, even then you just kind of looked at like, still has like 0.7 saves per game. Like this team did not have to make a lot of saves. But there was also they didn't really need to. So they're well set up for a deep run. Scorpions just gotta go out and do it. So, well, we can get to the. So Euphoric in. Yeah, basically in by the see. This is important. This is why you need to get to 4 wins. So yeah, so they're 1-2. So they had to rattle off 3 in a row. And Euphoric just came out firing. So again, it doesn't matter how you get to 4-2, just get there. Yeah, and that's exactly what they did. And like they're at the they're basically at the top. I don't know what got theoretically with the number one seed in the second round, assuming all these seeds hold and chalk holds. So Midpoint brought in like mid-season, and started I think weeks 5 and 6. Um, so like I know Jordan I think played Jordan played a handful of games. So like again, serviceable line. Millsy played a lot, and like this kind of leads to like more of a super support role, just because of that. Um, but I know like I know Holmes played all series. Like this was just trying the team I know was just trying to find the right combination, and I think they settled on it. Um, it was Holmes. I think DZ played 5 of 6. I think it's going to be Midpoint for the playoffs. Again, it's always good to have the full roster be available. Um, so, and like Midpoint's numbers are a little low, yeah, but just getting used to the team. Again, like I'm not going to criticize Millsy because playing more of a support, playing more back. But like for the most part, like the numbers are pretty well distributed as well. So, kudos on Euphoric for rattling off 3 in a row to get themselves in the playoffs. Hmm. Well, I know there's some teams missing. Yep. So I know Goon Squad's up here because of a 20-goal game. Whatever. So 0-2 to start the season, 4 in a row. So mainly 3 people, Virgin, Intense, were the subs at the start of the season. Um, but yeah, this is a good team. They kind of had to come together late. Um, Not going to lie, they are helped by just. This is not a reflection on IGL, but people that sign up for things. This division and this conference in particular was absolutely atrocious if you got the right schedule. All 3 BBC teams pretty much, because we're in the same division, same conference, had a pretty similar schedule. Yeah, I casted 2 20-goal games. I'm pretty sure all 3 of the teams in this division, BBC teams, have 2 forfeits wins on their record. This will be part of something. I don't know if I'm going to put up later today, or tomorrow. But it's basically reminiscent of one's last season. And I have a way of I have a thought on fixing that. But you can only play the schedule that's given to you. So they went 2-2 in games, but they came back and won the last 2, and again, whether or not you can argue that they probably backed in. A lot of people backed in on this one. But in part, you do have to do your job in the games that you do play. So they did exactly that, and are in the playoffs. So good on the Goon Squad. And we'll get to the Titans in a second. Okay, so I'm just going to comment right now. We got to do them before we do them. This is what happens when you don't. Again, that'll be part of the piece. That's way too many That's way too many 6-0 teams. But when you can only play 4 games. See, just 2 more. So we lost 5-1. Lost to the Titans. That was our only loss. We took a game off them and I was playing. So you can see, this is my squad. So you can see who the starters are. I'm just here because real life issues. I don't deserve to be on this roster. But anyways, yeah. So Unforgiven, J-Dub, Relevant, just, again, all stats in this division are greatly inflated by a lot of quitting teams. We unfortunately did not have a 20-goal game. We had to do this kind of the hard way. Yeah, nice, solid. Let's see, where does this put us? 3 places. So this puts us, if the seeds hold, this puts us on the bottom part of the bracket. And Goon Squad is on the top half of the bracket. So, assuming seeds hold, that puts the Titans in the bottom. That puts us, yep. Assuming these seeds hold, guess who we get to play in the second round if we can win? So again, so they lost 3 games in the 4 games they actually played. And again, I'm not exactly sure what that means. So, full disclosure, I'm not doing this to put down any other squads, especially in the club. Just from having watched Titans, and I've said this time and time again, they are easily our best tier 2 team. They just look like they have looked all season long, even against what would be argued as a Green Puff schedule. They've just looked really, really good. The series was a little shaky. And I could say that this week, my squad just, sort of caught him flat-footed in Game 3. But, then it was business as usual in Game 4. But I can't say, throughout the series, it was, Titans. And so they played, probably almost as good as the series that they could have played and got to 5. This was kind of almost like a tempo score first, impose your will type thing. But again, for this entire team, again, Green played 1 series and Green got to be in the 20-goal game series. So like, and I'm saying this because I played with Green, and he's a good guy, um, but he was a sub for this game, and yeah, this is inflated. So again, same thing. Creep Puff schedules numbers are inflated, but these, like, I cannot speak highly enough about this team. This team played really, really good. Played really, really fast. Played really, really like heads up. And honestly, if chalk holds, I don't know how my team's going to beat them. Straight up. So it'll be interesting. Like, and just again, like trying to make sense of all these numbers is like going to be difficult. Like Sugar's numbers are like basically in line because he didn't play in that game. I mean, if you just like look at this is just like you kind of look at it, it's just like that's just a normal line, and like I don't know, you have to take some chunks off Cole and Murlock for getting to score 10 goals, which again is huge for inflating numbers. But again, like these guys just crushed everyone, just crushed. So it'll be interesting to see. Again, all this depends on these seeds holding up, which I make no claim that they will. But yeah, when there's a lot of free dubs floating around, you're gonna have five undefeated teams. Which kind of lines up with this, but and like again, this is the importance of getting 4 wins. Like a 3-3 could sneak in, but again, that's the importance of getting 4 wins. So, all right, we're in the home stretch here. Let's cover the 2 tier 1 teams, the open tiers. That's unfortunate. 2 and 4, but when it's 1600 plus above, like always going to be some rough ones. Jeez, I got a forfeit win. So like honestly, like not bad numbers. Legendary is a little off on the offensive production, but assisted. So like, you probably slightly below, and like this looks like maybe 1 series. So just there's a lot to take away from this. But I know like Zach runs a pretty good ship, and like again it's also hard to tell just how bad they really played, because when 1600 up, you don't have like the 200 points. Green, if you want, here, we can do this live. Where is that at? Alright, green. You should have your points back. You may need to refresh. So I have greens doing that anyways, yeah. So then the last team in tier 1. BBC carrot on a stick. What, you're just throwing your points away? On you? So, only one forfeit. So this team. So Griff had a work schedule change at the beginning of the session, so basically could not play. Basically had to work nights. They kind of picked up Squirrel to kind of fill that gap in, and then picked up Nerve later in the season. And it was Nerve and the rest of the clowns. I say that affectionately. But also, this team played lights out too. It's amazing how good the Red Bulls can always play when you put that carrot out in front of them. So, at this point, they're, I kind of say which is dangerous for this team, is that they're kind of playing with house money at this point. It's your first season up in tier 1. It's always, I always feel like that transition season just can go sideways either, for anyone. But yeah. So they're in really, really good shape. Can hopefully make a deep run. So we had We had 12 teams, and we only had 2 fail to make playoffs. Crimson Taki and then me and Ones. But that was known from the start. Unless we had a repeat of last season, people failed to show up. And I'm not going to say necessarily Crimson Taki was a surprise. I just think again, I feel like Tier 1 is so much of a crapshoot. Because you could play 1600s, you could play 1700s, you could play 1800s, you could play 1900s, 2000s. Just in part because I think the bubble scene is so, the bubble scenes and people trying to break in, it's just so crowded, so they have to go somewhere. But yeah, we have 4 undefeated teams. Clangers finished at 5-1, with the forfeit caveat. But a bunch, and a good, Euphoric and Good Squad coming on strong at the end. So we're set up, and judging by past BBC playoff performances, there are going to be a lot of soul-crushing defeats in round 1. Don't know who it's going to be, but that's kind of how it's played out in the past. So, Let's see if we can get some people into like the semis. But yeah, that's gonna go ahead and do it for this one. I'll probably do my IGL hit piece maybe tomorrow. I don't know. I've been trying to. It'll be on my channel, Andrew Christ. Just because I've been. If you've been following my saga in general chat, I've had to get water from the inside of my house to the outside. So yeah. So I don't know when I'm exactly going to do that. I do want to try and get that out because I do have a suggestion because I'm probably going to point Fearless Leader at it too. It says like, you know, if they could ignore the harsh criticisms, like I have a proposal for fixing up a lot of forfeits because Tier 2 Division 5 Conference B, you know, it wasn't great. It's a negative for playing in IGL. It's not necessarily against IGL, so that's why I'm going to suggest, you know, what I'm going to suggest. But it was not fun to play threes. It was not fun to cast threes. You know, so. But anyways, I'll go ahead and do it. As we find out when the matchups are and as we get schedules, we'll post it. Here there will probably be a time warning, like when the next upcoming matches. I kind of like doing that because we're going to have a little bit more downtime. I say a little bit more downtime when, you know, we have 10 to 12 teams, but, you know, especially as we get eliminated and, you know, when there's time, we'll probably bring out casters screwing around on the channel, you know, to fill time during the week. But anyways, that'll go ahead and do it for the season review. I thank you all for watching and have a good day.